Meeting is called to order. The time is 7 p.m. The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the rights of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this Act, the Business Administrative Board Secretary has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted on the bulletin board of the municipal building, communicated to the Herald News, the Record, and filed with the clerk of the Borough of Hawthorne. Roll call, please.
Mr. Carr?
Here.
Mr. Clavijo?
Here.
Mr. Doyle?
Here.
Ms. Arentraut?
Here.
Dr. Morrell?
Present.
Mr. Shortway? Mr. Tutaro?
Present.
Mrs. Dunn?
Here. Please join me for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The record, Mr. Post is here as well.
I used to work with Dr. Morrell, but that's okay.
I'm so sorry.
You say the best for last.
We're good, he's here.
Here.
Mr. Poulos?
Okay. Meeting regulations. During each regular meeting, 2 opportunities are provided for citizens to ask questions and to make comments during the first opportunity early on the agenda. The meeting is open to the public for the purpose of addressing items listed for approval on this agenda only. The second opportunity occurs just prior to adjournment, when citizens may address any subject matter that is pertinent to and or directly related to the operation of the school district. Persons wishing to speak must, upon being recognized, rise, state their name, address, and subject matter. Comments and questions shall be addressed to the board president or the presiding officer and shall be limited to 5 minutes per person. The board may or may not respond to issues raised by members of the public at the time they are raised, but will provide a response if and when appropriate. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Please note that the board will not respond to comments regarding students or board employees in light of the privacy rights held by those individuals. Moreover, the board discourages comments about such individuals and will not be responsible for such comments. Members of the public who choose to speak during this public session should carefully consider their comments since they could be held personally liable for any statements they make. Finally, please note that in accordance with district policy, the board will not officially comment or respond to any matter mentioned unless it can confirm that the matter has first been brought to the attention of the appropriate school personnel in an attempt to resolve this issue. Publicly heard agenda items only. Approval of minutes, March 6th, work session public, March 14th, regular meeting and private meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Carr, seconded by Mr. Poulos. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Clavijo?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Ms. Arentraut?
Yes.
Dr. Morrell?
Yes.
Mr. Poulos?
Yes.
Mr. Tutaro?
Yes.
Mrs. Dunn?
Yes. Correspondence. I do actually have a couple of things. Dr. Streeter, do you have anything? Okay. The mayor sent the board a thank you letter, and I'll read it. On behalf of the borough and the 125th Anniversary Committee, thanks to the Board of Education for their hospitality and support as we came together last Friday evening to celebrate our anniversary. It was a great evening and one to remember as we kicked off the celebratory year. Always great to come together as one. Thanks again, John. Mr. Mayor Lane sent us a thank you. I think that was it as far as correspondence. Oh, we also got a letter from the Memorial Day Parade Committee. They are requesting confirmation if we will be attending. I did fill it out on our behalf. Are we willing to march? Just let me know. It is Monday, May 29th, Memorial Day. Assembly's at 12:30 and step off is at 1:30. So just let me know and I will send this back in to them. Additionally, I was invited to a Passaic County Education Association event honoring one of our very own, Miss Jen Arentraut. It is a black tie event and it is at the Brownstone on May 12th. And all of us got the Passaic County Public Service Conference invitation, which we all thought was a paycheck. and it was not. This is the first time I remember even seeing this, but I think it was Ms. Aaron tried to point it out. It says annual on here, so I do feel like this has happened before. We've just never been included. Unfortunately, it is Friday, it's the 28th, next Friday. It's during all of my school hours from 8 to 3, but if anybody does have a chance to go, please report back and let us know how it went. That is all I have for correspondence. Student council report, Mr. Healy.
Fantastic. We've had 5 school days in April so far, so in lieu of an actual report, I have a post-it note with some notes on it.
Wonderful.
On April 1st, the Hawthorne High School Marching Band had their annual fish and chips dinner, and that was a success. The Hawthorne High School Class of 2024 kickball tournament is at 6:30 tomorrow. It's a fundraiser started last year, it's an annual fundraiser now, kickball tournament at 6:30. Our spring musical, The Addams Family, is April 27th to the 30th. There's a special performance for seniors on April 26th. If I'm not mistaken, that's by the Municipal Alliance of Peer Leaders. And there's also a 5th grader performance on the 25th during school hours.
That's cool.
Looking ahead a little bit, May 1st is College Decision Day. Students and staff are supposed to wear college gear. And then NHS has their Gold Tassel Dinner at the Tides. That's coming up, I believe, May 6th, if I'm not mistaken. But that's all I have as far as quotes go. The best way to predict your future is to create a regular kid. And that's all I have for you.
Well done for just pulling that together, sir.
Thank you.
Are we busing the 5th graders?
We are.
That's awesome. This is something we've been looking forward to for
Yes.
a while.
Yes.
Dr. Sprito, Superintendent's
All right,
report.
thank you. So I'd just like to start by offering my congratulations to all the students at Hawthorne High School who were recently inducted into the National Honor Society, Italian Honor Society, and Spanish Honor Society. That happened during the month of March. I attended all 3 ceremonies. Actually, there were 2 ceremonies. There was a world language ceremony and an NHS induction ceremony. Wonderful ceremonies, and I appreciate the advisors who oversee those organizations. And we look forward, as Paul mentioned, to honoring our seniors at the NHS Gold Tassel Dinner on Thursday, May 4th. That's the date of that. And that one is at the Tides, not at the high school. Also, our middle school and high school sports spring seasons are off to a great start. So I just want to wish all of our teams in the middle school and the high school good luck as they continue through the spring season. The weather's been a little wacky, hot and cold, a little cold today for the games, but again, things are off to a great start, and I look forward to getting out and watching all of our teams compete. I do want to mention that the Hawthorne Police Department Leadership Camp is running again this summer, August 14th through August 18th. For those who are not familiar, that is a 30-hour program. It runs for 1 week, Monday through Friday at Lincoln Middle School. It's staffed by members of the Hawthorne Police Department, police officers who are experienced in youth programs in conjunction with some Lincoln Middle School staff and administration. The camp is for students entering 6th grade, or 5th graders entering 6th grade. I can tell you as a parent of 4 students who participated, it is a great experience for students who are entering Lincoln Middle School. They run a host of activities, team building activities, but they also provide opportunities for students to familiarize themselves with the school, with opening a lock, and some other things that they will experience as Lincoln Middle School students. So I would encourage all of our 5th grade parents to sign up. For more information, you can contact Sergeant DeLallo by email or by phone. And I know there's a flyer on our social media page and numerous social media outlets, but if you contact the Hawthorne Police Department, I'm sure they can get you in touch with Sergeant DeLallo, who runs the program. I do want to mention, I know Ms. Goff mentioned about Mayor Lane sending the thank you. I did attend on Friday, March 24th, the borough's first of 4 events celebrating the 125th anniversary of Hawthorne. It was held in the auditorium of Hawthorne High School. Included numerous speakers and a performance by our students in our drama department. They did a great job performing a play called One Night at Nelke's Hotel, which is how Hawthorne got its name. They did a great job of putting that together. Thank Mrs. Renee for her cooperation in organizing that. She really, I reached out to her and asked her to be part of it. She was more than happy to assist our students in organizing that, so I appreciate it. And the next event I can tell you is scheduled for the weekend of June 10th and 11th, and that event will be held on the athletic field at the high school. So again, we'll be part of the festivities for the 125th anniversary event. So stay tuned for more information about that. Okay, a couple of other things. Just a couple of dates, and Paul mentioned some of these, but I want to mention some others. We look forward to our annual 5th grade TREPS event, which is scheduled for April 24th at Roosevelt School. If you haven't been to TREPS, it's a fantastic event where kids create products and sell them at the TREPS event. It's really a lot of fun, and the kids have a great time as well selling their products. So if you get a chance to stop down at Roosevelt School on April 24th, I believe the doors open at 6:30 at Roosevelt School in the gym. Our annual budget hearing is next Tuesday, April 25th at 7 o'clock, right here in our boardroom. And obviously we'll be live streaming it as well. We'll be talking about next year's budget, district budget. Also on May 9th at our main meeting, we'll recognize our teacher and our education support professionals of the year. We've invited them to attend that meeting on May 9th so that we can honor them formally. So we look forward to doing that. They will also be honored at a event at the Brownstone, which is run by the county. So we're looking forward to being part of that as well and honoring those teachers multiple times as we get to the end of the year. The spring production, as Paul mentioned, runs from April 27th through Thursday, April 27th through Sunday, April 30th. There's in essence one show each day except for Saturday, right? It's the day of 2 shows, and it's the Addams Family this year. So I'm looking forward to that and having a chance to watch our students perform. And the Lincoln Middle School drama production will take place on Friday, May 5th at Lincoln Middle School, and that is Lion King Jr. this year. So also looking forward to that. And also, finally, I should say that as May begins, we'll be hosting our spring concerts at all of our schools. So stay tuned. There's a lot of end-of-year events. As you know, I'm not going to list them all, but I would say just stay tuned to the weekly announcements and our website with all the dates and times of all the end of the year. There's a lot of end-of-year special events that take place. So continue to look out for those events. Finally, I know we're going to be approving revisions to our district calendar due to the remaining 3 snow days. I will just say this, that obviously we've assigned days that will be off using those other 3 snow days that we didn't use this year. It's the first time I've ever had 3 days left. I don't know what to do with myself, but I just would say this, that just keep in mind that obviously if something happens between now and the dates that were scheduled to be off, this could change, right? It's subject to change, so hopefully it won't, but you never know, right? Something could happen, lose power, or whatever, I don't know. But hopefully it doesn't, knock on wood. But again, this is our plan, and we'll be sharing this new calendar out with all of our families, after the calendar is approved tonight. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Sprito. Curriculum and instruction, Dr. Morrell.
Pursuant to the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Committee on Curriculum and Instruction recommends the following resolutions. CI1 and CI2 on page 3. CI3 through CI14 on page 4. On behalf of the committee, I so move.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Morrell, seconded by Ms. Ehrentraut. Any discussion? I have a question, Dr. Sprito. On CI9, the home instruction for the whole program, is that everyone?
No, that's one student, a new student who's now attending that program. So they're going to be placed on EduSeer in that program.
Okay, the way it's written, it just says approval of home instruction for students enrolled.
Yeah, but they say she is a student file
Okay,
number.
just the one
That's
family.
one particular student, a new student.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Glavio?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Ms. Ehrentraut?
Yes.
Dr. Morrell?
Yes.
Mr. Kalous?
Yes.
Mr. Tutara?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mrs. Cox?
Yes. Personnel, Ms. Erentraut.
Thank you, President. The following resolutions are pursuant to the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools. P1 through P11 on page 5. P12 through P16 on page 6. On behalf of the committee, I so move.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Erentraut, seconded by Mr. Totaro. Any discussion?
No, other than a personal thing, that I feel old that I see a student here
Oh.
that grew up and is now going to be a substitute teacher.
Exciting. The circle of life, Dr. Morel.
Yes. It is wild.
Mr. Gudijo?
I have something, just want to wish Mr. Lee Knight a happy retirement. I know he's been part of the Hawthorne family for quite some time, so.
I have one comment too. Again, like Mr. Clivio said, wishing the two retirees a happy retirement and welcome to our new hires that are joining the team.
I'm excited to see that we have a flag football coach on here.
Yes.
That's exciting. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Ms. Erentraut?
Yes.
Dr. Morel?
Yes.
Mr. Kalous?
Yes.
Mr. Totaro?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Clavijo?
Yes.
Mrs. Scott?
Yes. Finance and Administration, Mr. Clavijo.
Thank you, Madam President. Finance and Administration, action items pursuant to the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools. The Committee on Finance and Administration recommends the following resolutions. On page 7, F1 through F6. On page 8, A1 through A8. On behalf of the committee, I so move.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Clavijo, seconded by Mr. Kalous. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Erentraut?
Yes.
Dr. Morel?
Yes.
Mr. Kalous?
Yes.
Mr. Totaro?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Clavijo?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Scott?
Yes. Claims. Myself. In accordance with NJAC 6A:23-2:11B, C3, and C4, it is recommended the board approve the bill list for the month of April 2023. I so move.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Goff, seconded by Mr. Clavijo. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Dr. Morel?
Yes.
Mr. Kalous?
Yes.
Mr. Totaro?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Clavijo?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Ms. Erentraut?
Yes.
Mrs. Scott?
Yes. Buildings and grounds, Mr. Totaro.
Thank you, Madam President. Pursuant to the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Committee on Buildings and Grounds recommends the following resolutions. VG1 through VG3 on page 9. On behalf of the committee, I so move. Second.
Moved by Mr. Totaro, seconded by Mr. Carr. Any discussion?
I just add one thing about BG3, just so you, the reason for that change. So when we had designed the media center, the back part of the media center, there's a small room, and the intent was to have 2 different counter heights in that room. That was the original design. After further thought and discussion, especially with our esports students, they wanted to change the counter height and depth because of we're buying specific computers for those students to participate in esports, and the depth of the counter and the height of the counter, they just felt it was better to have it all the same height, and a little bit, the higher counter was not as deep, and it was just, they were concerned about being able to compete in esports in there, because we're putting TVs on the walls, so it'll be like almost like an esports lounge for those students after school. So that's the reason for the change. It was just that the way it was designed originally, they didn't have that, the architect didn't have that forethought to think about those. Once we had more conversation, we just had to change, make that one change. So that's what that is. Just
We did roll call for that one? Okay, roll call.
Mr. Kalous?
Yes.
Mr. Totaro?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Clavijo?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Ms. Erentraut?
Yes.
Dr. Morel?
Yes.
Mrs. Scott?
Yes. Dr. Morel, policy.
Pursuant to the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Committee on Policy recommends the following resolutions. PO 1 on page 9 and PO 2 on page 10. On behalf of the committee, I so move.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Morel, seconded by Mr. Totaro. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Totaro?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Clavijo?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Ms. Erentraut?
Yes.
Dr. Morel?
Yes.
Mr. Kalous?
Yes.
Mrs. Scott?
Yes. Committee and liaison reports. Mr. Carr, legislative and buildings and grounds, if you were reading.
Thank you, Madam President. Legislative, on April 17th, Governor Phil Murphy signed legislation A4720, requiring the Commissioner of Education, in conjunction with the New Jersey Commission on Holocaust Education, to craft and distribute a survey for public schools relating to educational instruction on the Holocaust and genocide. The survey will measure how each school district is meeting the state's current requirement that every Board of Education include instruction on the Holocaust and genocide in an appropriate place in the curriculum of all elementary and secondary school students. The bill requires the Commissioner of Education within 60 days to develop a survey that will focus on each district and how each district is meeting instruction requirements. The survey will be comprised of questions for all grade levels and will inquire about curriculum, content, learning goals, instructional strategies, and other factors. Within 180 days of the act going into effect, the Commissioner must provide a detailed report of the survey's findings to the Governor and Legislature, including any recommendations for improvement. The survey will ensure that curriculum standards and expectations are being met across New Jersey and serves as an opportunity to swiftly highlight concerns and take corrective action. That concludes the legislative report. And Buildings and Grounds Committee, we met last evening at 7:30 p.m. Referendum update was the asbestos abatement in the science rooms at the high school that was taken care of during spring break. There's a punch list completed for the fire alarm project in the district, and continued painting of the new doors, the new door frames that was done also during spring break. Is that complete or almost complete?
Almost. They're working their way through all the schools, but they're getting close to the end.
And some of the other district projects that they're working on is completed roof repairs at Roosevelt School. Some masonry repairs were done at the Lincoln Middle School. Security shades have been installed for all the new classroom doors. We're in the process of getting quotes for fencing around the football field. There was a track repair also over the last week. There were a number of spots that were repaired, and otherwise the track is in good shape. New floor at the main office hallway ceiling at Roosevelt. I'm sorry, first floor, main office hallway ceiling at Roosevelt. New tile in the faculty room at Roosevelt. New carpet in the main office at Roosevelt. Asphalt patching at Jefferson High School, at the high school and Roosevelt School, and some masonry repairs to be done at Washington. And this concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Carr.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Am I allowed to ask a question about that report?
Yes.
The patching of the track field. How old is the track? Like in my mind, I feel like the track is new.
So there are two
Like
spots. It's about
I think it's 5 years old.
5 years old.
Okay.
So there were two spots, as you come down the hill, as you enter, there's that gate where you
Yeah.
enter the track, there was one little circular spot where something must have hit it and it just kind of broke.
Got it.
It's a very small repair.
All right.
But there's another section where the teams crossed the track closer to the den, where the track was actually lifting. There was a small section, not a small section, maybe the size of my laptop being open,
Okay.
about that side, where they had to cut a piece of the track out and replace it. So those were two repairs, and then the third repair was on the runway for the long jump. At the very end of the runway, it doesn't impact the runway itself, but the very end, the corner of the runway, it just needed to be repaired. So what they did is we had them walk the entire track, make sure everything was in good shape. We knew of those two spots, and we just said, just walk the track, make sure there's nothing else. They did. They said the track is in good shape, other than those two repairs. But yeah, he said, I actually was down there when he was doing the repairs, and I said to him, is this normal?
Right, because I'm like, it's not old.
Yeah, he said in high traffic areas, it does happen,
Okay.
unfortunately. And those are high traffic areas. You get vehicles across the track in those spots, kids, a lot of students crossing the track in those spots. It's not uncommon.
Mr. Clavijo, Finance and Administration, and Passaic County School Boards Association.
Thank you. Finance Administration, the Finance Committee did not meet. As Dr. Spirito stated, the public budget hearing will take place next week, Tuesday the 25th, 7 p.m. right here in this room. The website will be updated accordingly. For Passaic County School Boards Association, the next meeting is May 8th. It's a hybrid meeting. For those attending in person, it'll take place at Memorial Wayne. The theme is Celebration and County Teacher of the Year. That concludes the report.
Thank you, Mr. Clavino. Ms. Aaron Council Liaison.
Thank you, President. The April 5th meeting, the council meeting, the mayor and the council proclaimed April as Autism Awareness Month. A very nice certificate was presented to our beloved Jared Sciarra. And April was also proclaimed Child Abuse Prevention Month, and there was a presentation to Sasha Lowry from Passaic County Court appointed special advocates. Mayor Lane also introduced the budget presentation and explained some of the challenges that we're facing in the borough, similarly to the board, including that 22% increase in the state health benefits plan. Also at the April 5th meeting, Resolution 5723 was passed, which includes the COPS hiring grant application to be submitted in May. In addition, the Hawthorne Environmental Commission and Hawthorne Green Team has their 31st annual celebration this Saturday at 9:30 a.m. at the high school for grades K through 12. And this year's theme for the project is celebrating 125 years of Hawthorne's hometown habitat. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Aaron Trout. As far as NJSBA goes, we did get a postcard in the mail. They have announced the dates for the convention this coming year. It is at the Atlantic City Convention Center and will be October 23rd through 26th. They're offering a special group rate registration of $2,100 for up to 25 team members, which we certainly are not sending 25 people, but the dates are on the calendar now. Additionally, they sent a letter to myself, and I believe Ms. Ambrose got it. It does say it was supposed to go to the board, the business administrator, saying that the NJSBA Board of Directors unanimously approved the NJSBA budget on March 24th. Additionally, it says that though they have tried to keep the fee structure the same, they have not raised their dues since 2009, and there are growing complexities of public education. Members have asked to provide additional supports, and to meet those needs, they will be developing a state-of-the-art website and providing some other things. So they are raising our dues to $18,912.63. I believe they were previously $16,000.
They were roughly budgeted around 16.
Yeah. They then go and apologize in the letter, acknowledging that budgets were due in March and that they will not be sending the invoice out until June. But in any event, they are, in an effort to be transparent and provide some advance notice for our members, we are notifying each board president and school business administrator of the district's dues amount. We acknowledge this is coming later into the budget process than would be ideal, but NJSBA budget needed to be approved by the board of directors before the dues committee could recommend its official dues payment. And that is signed Irene LaFave, the NJSBA president. I'll leave this with you. Oh, you do? Okay. That is all I have for NJSBA. Dr. Morel, policy.
Sure. We met right before this meeting. And so we briefly discussed the first reading that you saw on the board agenda today. And we spent more of our time talking about policy 0144, which is the board member orientation and training. The main change to that particular policy as it relates to the mandatory training we should receive as board members each year of our terms, that the change is now 90 days. But we also we discussed when a new board member is appointed, or is elected, I should say, that there's certain materials that we're going to provide. So it'll be on the next board meeting. So we discussed that we felt that new board members currently they receive our bylaws and our policy manual. Will have access to Strauss Esme, to have access to the state regulations, that's 6A and 18A, and then also all of our negotiated contracts, all of our collective bargaining agreements for our different groups. So that's a change that we're making to that policy. Something that we're going to look into a little bit more, researching just how our home instruction and the specificity of our policy and regulations. So that's something we'll be discussing at our next policy meeting. That's our conclude my report. You want me to do CNI?
Sure.
Okay. CNI, let me move forward to that. We discussed a new technology internship program at Hawthorne High School. I'm excited about this. For starting off, there are 4 students who will have an opportunity, so it's similar to having a work-based learning experience where the students will shadow our own technology staff in our district. And the program is open right now to seniors. It is part of their regular school schedule, so on the days that they are not shadowing one of our tech workers, they will have courses to work towards getting industry credentials in the field of being like a technology specialist. So excited for that for next year. We got an update on our sheltered instruction training series where we have a certain number of our staff members are receiving sheltered instruction, and that is to provide or learning about instructional strategies and how to provide support for our multilingual language learners in our classes. And so that series has been going on for this school year, and they're coming up on the last training. I believe there's about 35 staff members that are being trained. The next part is we board approved today the new K-5 ELA program, which is the Wonders program. And so we just got an update about that program and the resources and the PD and the supports that will happen for next year. There's currently a proposal that is still being discussed to consider of a new location for our whole program. And so that's something that the board, Dr. Spirito is looking into, but we have to work with our county office to get approval for those additional instructional spaces. And then there's just an instructional pilot that we're looking into at Jefferson to how to support our students running a pilot. And again, a pilot is, think of it as like a test trial to see if it works, and it's an idea that they're having. That's it.
Thank you, Dr. Moreau. Mr. Palouse, HEF, CPAC, and PTO.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to start off with Pocketbook Bingo. It was a decent success, and on behalf of Project Graduation and the high school PTO, I just want to thank all those who organized the event and for everyone who attended it. And moving to HEF. HEF has their upcoming May 21st is going to be the food truck festival at the high school, Bamford Ave entrance. There'll be food trucks, bounce houses, face painting games, order forms can be purchased. They're going to be going home next week, I believe. There's going to be order forms going home so people can buy wristbands through the elementary schools. Information will be on the website, and order forms, again, will be located at some local businesses as well. It's going to be a $5 donation that goes towards HEF. We need help, so if anybody's willing to volunteer, please step up, reach out to Jennifer Doyle, who runs HEF at this point, and see if you can help her out. The event is starting 11 a.m. With setup, and then the actual event takes place from 12 p.m. until 4 p.m. again at the high school. Please, if you could, help out and reach out to Jennifer Doyle and make that another success. And then my last event here is going to be the 5th annual. I'm going to post this over here. I don't know if anybody can see it or not, but there is a spot here where if you click on it with your phone, it will take you to registration form where you could register. There's still time to register. It's the 5th annual 5K Walk Run Color event. There are a lot of people that participate on a, what's the word I'm thinking about, on a level of...
Competitive basis.
What's that?
Competitive.
Competitive, thank you very much, Dr. Sprito. But it's also an event for, young kids. It's a great event. I've done it as often as possible. I don't think I did it every year, but again, if you could register for that, it's a great event for the whole family. Registration the day of starts at 8 a.m. The event itself, the walk kicks off at 9 a.m. If you're going to register the day of, it's going to be cash only. So I do encourage you to, register in advance if possible. And CPAC also needs volunteers and anyone who has some type of photography knowledge, multiple people to be spread out throughout the event. Taking pictures would be awesome. And if you're going to participate, we're having a non-perishable items, so you can bring down a bag full of items, non-perishables, that will be donated to the local food pantry. I think that concludes my report.
I may have some great photographer.
Oh, you do? Excellent.
Someone reached out to me about another event, but he may be interested.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, we initially reached out to the high school.
That's May 7th.
But
Thank you.
they weren't available to do it.
And that's good.
Gosselbrook Park, and they start at Ray Ave.
Just can I add, I have 2 more events outside of those events that I think are important. So the celebration is this Saturday, Hawthorne High School. Some of our students will be there participating in that event, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's kind of all over the first floor of the high school in the main caf, the 123. There's multiple rooms they use. So that's one event I just want to mention. The other event, which is on the same day as the Color Run, is the Town Walk for Wellness, the 3rd annual Community Walk for Wellness, which is being hosted by the Stigma-Free Community Committee, the Domestic Violence Response Team, and the Hawthorne Public Schools. So we're partnering on that walk. So that's from 2 to 4. So you can run in CPAC at 9 and then walk on the track from 2 to 4.
Get your steps in on the 7th.
And rest on the next day. You can sleep on Sunday.
Exactly.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sprito. Thank you, Mr. Blues. Public be heard. Okay. General comments and questions from the board related to the school district, or new business or old business. Anything you have to say. Mr. Blues, I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
He averted his eyes when I looked over there.
I'm really bad with going first. So
Okay, want me to start over here?
At this point, I have nothing to say until it comes back around.
Okay, we could do that. We could go trick back
Okay,
around this
thank
time. Ms. Aaron
Okay, we're not starting there. Okay, I have a few things. So it feels like it's been a while since we met, but I wanted to thank Mrs. Baber for inviting me back again this year to read to her preschool class at Jefferson for the Read Across Hawthorne back on Thursday, March 23rd. As Dr. Sprito mentioned, I'd also like to commend our high school, the theater students, on their performance at the one night in LG's Hotel. They were great, and I remember the performance 25 years ago, I guess, when the council and everyone did it, and the students totally outperformed them. They were awesome. I was also going to mention the Hawthorne, the Stigma-Free Walk. The Diversity Alliance team has put together something for that as well through the public schools, so we're excited. And last, I'm loving the Instagram account, seeing all of the colleges where our
Bears
students
Decision.
are going. Yeah, the Bears Decision account. It's so exciting. So congrats to our students, and we should all really be proud in Hawthorne because they're going to schools.
I echo that as well. I think it's been great to see. I love going on there and just being able to support all of our students and them showing off all the colleges and different schools that they're going off to. Outside of that, and there's just so much going on. I feel like since the last time we met to now, and so much to look forward to for the rest of the month and into May. So excited. Love this time of the year, especially with sporting events coming up, so it's encouraging and always helps with nicer weather. And let's go Devils.
Mr. Bolivia.
I just want to echo some of the events that are coming up. Just want to encourage all of us to participate them and support them. Color Run, CPAC has done a great job over the years. That's always a fun event. From what I understand, it's pets, it's open to pets. It's all that it has. So yeah, so if you have a pet, you can actually bring her out. It probably will rain, right?
Oh, it rains.
It does.
Yes. So, but that's
The
the
color sticks to you.
Yeah,
That's true.
it adds a tie-dye effect.
Yeah.
It does. It's a lot of fun though. So and if you can make it out to that one. Also, Treps. My kids did not have an opportunity to participate in Treps, but Treps is awesome. Come and support our budding entrepreneurs. And also both plays, the middle school one and also the high school one.
Thank you. Mr. Doyle?
It's already been said, but I just want to piggyback. I want to extend congratulations to our 2 retirees leaving the district, and to all of our students who received their induction into the various honor societies. And also just a word of encouragement for spring sports is in full swing, and from what I can see and tell, all of our student athletes are doing well. The teams are all thriving right now, so go Bears.
Mr. Park?
Also like to echo that sentiment. Thank you for the 2 retirees. Thank you for your service to the Board of Education and school community, and welcome our new team members. And go Rangers.
I have nothing to add.
You don't want to throw another sports team on there?
We're booking tonight.
I would just like to, I know that those of you who are here probably have a copy of it, but for those at home who have a burning desire to know the days that we are being given back by Dr. Sprito, it is the Tuesday and Wednesday following Memorial Day, so that is the 30th and 31st of May. Additionally, it is the following Tuesday, June 6th, which is the primary election day. So those 3 days. But we all reserve the right to take those back. He is very nervous about this for whatever reason.
No, it snowed in Buffalo, just saying.
I mean, after Hurricane Ida, I think everyone's a little
I really do. First time, it's a weird feeling.
It is weird, but we are excited to give them back on the sunny days,
Yes.
hopefully to enjoy them.
Yes.
I would like to echo Dr. Sprito's sentiments about, I was fortunate enough and honored to speak at the National Honor Society induction this year. Mr. McMahon and the students asked me to come speak. And as I said to them, though they were being honored into the National Honor Society induction, the honor was truly mine. And I am reminded frequently how honored I am to serve the community in that role, especially on a night like that. We deal with a lot of sticky situations, and when we get to go and see those bright light situations, it just really makes it all worth it. I'd also like to welcome back. I know that we have had several students come back to district this month. It's never too late to come back. You're always welcome back in Hawthorne. It is always your home. Once a bear, always a bear. That's amazing to see, and one of them got right onto a sports team, so it's amazing to see that it was a seamless transition right back.
We don't charge tuition, right?
We don't charge tuition. We charge the same tuition as our salary.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I would like to say that today I attended a tour of Roosevelt School on a professional level. It was for an out-of-district placement search that I have going on a professional level. And I am just always so positively impacted by the community. I was a Roosevelt parent. But that building and all of our buildings in this district are just so welcoming. I had a family from the district I work in and a student and some faculty members from my district come with me, and it just, you just leave there feeling happy. And it's really a pleasure to be a member of this community, and I'm grateful every day that my kids have been a product of this community. One last reminder and pitch that we do have the budget hearing next Tuesday at 7 p.m. We will be in here. It will be publicly televised as well, just as we normally do. So tune in for the budget. Dr. Sprito usually makes a snappy little slideshow.
We're working on it.
Yeah, it's usually very riveting and informative. And we look forward to that. I just have one question I didn't ask. Are we doing the youth in government? Is that next month? I haven't heard anything about it.
You know, we
haven't
haven't
done
done
it
that in
since
a few
COVID.
years since COVID.
That's normally our May.
Yeah, we could try to put the, it's a quick turnaround.
Could we do
I
it
could
for
try,
June?
we could try to do it for June 9th. That might be a better.
That is another highlight of being up here.
Yeah, we haven't done it really
We
since
haven't
COVID,
done it,
to
and
be
I
honest.
continue to forget to remind myself to
You know, I mean,
question
let
it,
me
but
see if we
I
can
feel
pull
like if we
together.
could resurrect
Yeah,
it,
all right, all right.
even in the most rudimentary way,
Yeah,
I know we
yeah,
normally do a
yeah.
dinner and then we do, even if we just did cookies,
Yeah, that's fine.
and we came here, I think that
All right, let me see if
I
I
would
can,
love to see that come back.
we can pull something together.
June probably works better, right? Because
June
that
9th.
with sports like that.
The only that's the band dinner that night, right? The 6th, June 6th, I'm sorry, yeah. Let me see if I can
Okay.
put something together.
Okay. That is all I have. Mr. Palouse, since I feel like you were slighted in being the first person to go, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, thank you. I appreciate
No?
that.
Okay.
That's dismissed.
Be it resolved that the Hawthorne Board of Education convenes an executive session to discuss exempt matters pertaining to pending or anticipated litigation. Be it further resolved that the anticipated executive session will be shorter than 45 minutes in duration and that public action may or may not be taken. Be it further resolved that the minutes of the executive session will be made available upon determination by the board that the disclosure of minutes will not detrimentally affect any right or interest of the board and the need for confidentiality no longer exists. I'll entertain a motion to go into private.
Motion.
Second.
Motioned by Mr. Clavijo and seconded by Mr. Totaro. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Shatara?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Clavijo?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Ms. Arentrop?
Yes.
Dr. Morrell?
Yes.
Mr. Deleuze?
Yes.
Mrs. Scott?
Yes. Thank you guys for coming.
All right, buddy.
Motion to exit from private session.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Morel, seconded by Mr. Carr. Any discussion?
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Clavijo?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Ms. Erentraut?
Yes.
Dr. Morel?
Yes.
Mr. Kalous?
Yes.
Mr. Totaro?
Yes.
Mrs. Scott?
Yes. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motioned by Dr. Morel, seconded by Mr. Clavijo. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Clavijo?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Ms. Erentraut?
Yes.
Dr. Morel?
Yes.
Mr. Kalous?
Yes.
Mr. Totaro?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Present, yes.
Mrs. Scott?
Yes. See you all next Tuesday.